Welcome to database lab experiment number 7. In this experiment we have to use JDBC. So for that what we have to do, we have to create a form like this. We'll run this Java file. So like this we have to create a form in which we have to give some ID, name, then username, and when we click submit, then this data should get submitted to the database and it should reflected in the database. So now let's see how we can do that. First in Java file, first we have to import some files like java.sql.connection, then some driver managers, then sql.statement, like all these things we have to import. Then we have to create a statement st object. Now in public login, this is the constructor. Then in try catch, what we are giving class.forName oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver. We are giving the driver name here. Now in we are writing connection con equals to, now we are giving reference name equals to driver manager dot connection, and then here we are giving JDBC all the host name, local host name, then all the details, system name, and then this the password. Then after that we are creating the statement equals connection dot create statement. Then we are catching the exception. If any exception occur, it will catch the exception. Now here what it is doing, now here in JPanel, like in swing, what we are getting, we are writing the input in input box. So from input box we should get the input. So for that what we are doing, string eid equals to jtext field dot get text. So it will get the text from jtext field and it will store it into eid. Like same thing it will done to it will store the name in ename, then username in username. Then we have now we have created a string query in which we are writing a query insert into login values, where we are writing eid, then ename, then username. Then we are handling try and catch. In try we are executing the query. If any exceptions occur, then it will it will handle that exception. So like this we can create a JDBC experiment. So now let's see. So here we'll give some ID like 250, then name some Abhijit, and username Abhi. Now whenever I click submit button, data inserted. Now whenever I see my database and I am printing start login, so here we can see ID is 250, Abhijit, then Abhi is the username. So we can see in database our data is inserted. So in the first part we have to do this thing, insert data, but in the next part what we have to do, we have to do some update, insertion, search, like all these things. Like we have to insert a new booking, modify the booking, delete a record from booking, search the booking. So to do that, what we have to do, first we have to create a scanner s equals to new scan. To get the input we have to use this scanner. Then now we are printing, enter the username and then enter the password of the database. Now class.forName. Now this is the driver, and then here for connection we are writing driver manager dot get connection. Then this is the host name, all these things we are giving. Then after that we are connecting, connection dot connect create statement. Now what we are doing, we are using switch case. So we'll give some options like what we want to do. We want to insert a new data or modify a new data, or delete a data or search a data. So for that we have used switch case statement. So in case 1 we are inserting the value. So to insert the value we have to use system.out.println car id. Then we are initializing car id equals to s.nextInt. Here we'll get the car id from the user. Then in system.out.println car name, and then here we'll get the car name from the user. Then we are writing a string SQL and we are writing the query insert into. So because the case 1 is related to in case 1 we want to insert the value, that's why query we are writing insert into, then all these things. Then we are executing the SQL command. In the case 2 we want to modify value, so it means we'll get the car name and the car ID from the user. Then in string sq1 we are writing update car set. Then we are writing command for query for update. Then we are executing the query, and then after that we are handling the exception. If any exception occurs, it will handle it. Then in the next what we are doing, we are doing deleting a value. So for that we are getting the car ID, then car ID from the user, and then after that we are deleting that that whole row using this query delete from car where car id equals to this. Then after that we are handling the exception. The fourth one, we are searching the value, so we'll get the car id from the user. According to that car id it should search for that row. If that row occurs, then it will say, it will print that row. If that row is not there, then it will print that row is not exist. And by default, suppose user has given a wrong option, then in default it will print wrong option. So at last we have to close all the statement close and connection close. Then we have to handle some catch if any exception occurs. So now if we run this project, here we have to give some insert. What we have to give some values like insert. Suppose we want to insert a data, so we'll give option 1. So we'll give car id, suppose car id 350, then car name, any car name, BMW. Then if we see the database, so here we can see 350 BMW. Here we can see. Now suppose we want to modify the booking, so we'll give second option. Then we'll to update the car name. So what we have to update the car name. Suppose I am giving Audi, then enter car ID 350. Okay. Now if I see this again, then here we can see 350, the car name is Audi. So now we want to delete a record 3, so we'll give third option. Now we'll write the car ID, so I am writing 350. So if you see in database, it will show that 350 is deleted. So now suppose we want to search some booking, so we have to give some car ID. So I will give 103 because in database 103 exists. So it will say the car name of TYY. Okay. Now suppose I want to exit from this panel, then I will write 0 and I will get exit. Okay. Now this was the experiment for database lab experiment number 8. So thank you for watching this video.